Well, we have less than 24 hours to go, but we finally made it to lap 18. And of course, lap 18 is the lap where we can get times 500 orbs for the new heroic dragon. And now, this one, I normally finish with like 3 days left, and we could have tried to push for lap 19, but I didn't need to push for lap 19 because we got a double on the treasure trunk anyway. But with this race, I managed to get to lap 18 despite being incredibly busy 5 days a week, not being able to log in during the days. So, you know, with some smart gemming, you can easily make it to lap 18, even if you're really busy, if you've got like a few hundred gems to spare. I probably spent like 200-ish, something like that, maybe 250-ish total to get to lap 18, but that's everything that I wanted out of this event. But the only downside to this is that in terms of the High Flyers collection itself, you can see I got all the treasure trunks that I needed. I did get a times 100 for him as well, but unfortunately, we were 6 cannonballs off. I got just a few too many times 1 drops on the cannonballs towards the end, and now I could purchase the remaining cannonballs that I need, because if you didn't know, we now have the cannonballs available in the office section, and it's 70 per cannonball, which honestly is not as bad as it has been before. The only problem is, of course, I'd have to times that by 6, because that's how many cannonballs I'd need, so I could afford it. I could do it, but is it actually worth it when we could end up with just getting the lowest drop, which is 120 orbs? Probably not. So I think this time I might be saying goodbye to Palm Tree Dragon and goodbye to a straight E5 without trading. But just to put it in perspective of how many orbs we have, like right now, if I went to try and summon High Flying, we currently have over 800 orbs. We have 839 orbs. And so then, just to put it in perspective of how many orbs we will get of this dragon, if we include sources such as the Heroic Quest, Heroic Combat 1, and Heroic Combat 2, then combined all of these orbs together, we're actually going to have 1,674 orbs total. And since every single dragon in Dragon City takes 2,000 orbs to E5, let's just do minus 2,000 just for anyone that's bad at math, that means that we're missing just 326 orbs. And we could easily get these orbs from trading, and I mean, I have Ashwing orbs, which I don't need because he's already E5, that I can trade out, and 326 orbs. If you didn't know, when you do go to empower a dragon, in fact I've got it happening right now with Cinco, you can use up to a set amount of Joker orbs to empower them. And like, my Cinco's been sitting there to E5 for so long, but I'm trying to get the orbs by trading rather than spending heroic jokers, because I'd rather save the heroic joker orbs for heroic VIPs. So, you know, like High Harpy Plasmas and any of the heroic VIPs that I do end up getting, and I do already have, I'd rather save it for them. But the option is there if you really want to use it and get your dragon from E4 to E5, and maybe you didn't finish the collection. But even if you didn't finish the collection this time, like I've said before, easy E4 realistically. I did get lucky with 1 big times 100 drop, but aside from that, it was basically just hard grinding all of the events. So I would say that I got to where I wanted to, more or less. And of course, tomorrow we do have those heroic combat quests. I will go through them tomorrow, but just in case you do want a guide for it, I have posted it in the DC event guide section, and it tells you exactly how much food it's going to cost to complete both quests. So basically you need 28 million food and 93 gems if you have to skip all of the hatching for the eggs. Because this time around, I actually did have to get top 3 this time, because I actually don't own Elder Storm, and that's the only thing to really be mindful of, because obviously if you get to lap 15, you're guaranteed the heroic anyway. If you get to lap 18, then you get the times 500 orbs, you get the skin, and you get the times 200 bonus orbs. But you also need the legendary if you want to do the heroic combat quest. So that was the reason why I needed to at least get top 3. But this time around, it looks like everyone just sat on lap 18 anyway. We don't need lap 19 because I've already got all the treasure trunks that we need. So overall, that's exactly where I want it to be. We don't need to come first. Doesn't matter whether we come first. We got all of the rewards that we need, and I'm going to get my legendary. So that is pretty much a successful race. It does mean that if I was super duper active and I actually could log in during the day, we probably could have gotten to like lap 20, maybe 22 even, gotten a bonus 80 orbs. Is it really worth it for a bonus 80? I would say no, personally. It's not worth the effort, not worth the extra grind, and not worth the extra gem spending. But I did also get a couple of lucky spins, but the spins themselves are only going to help you with 1 node each, so it's not like it's the end of the world. But apart from that, it was mostly ×1s, of course. Outside of that, today I did get a duplicate Gluttonous Vampire out of the Dragon TV collection, which is nothing crazy. I have gotten a what's it called? A High Sunbringer from the current Arena Showdown as well, so I don't mind getting duplicates of heroics and being able to use those. I did also get quite a few orbs of high score and a duplicate high score, so there's another heroic that we can work on. But in terms of trading and everything, you know, any dragons that I already have at E5, I might as well just try and trade the orbs out. So like if there's someone that doesn't want high flying dragon orbs, I could trade them my high Ashwing. Maybe they need him because they only have an E4 high Ashwing and they don't need them for high flying. So in which case I'm going to try and see if we can get some trading done. I mean, I've got 117 heroic essence. I am saving some in case we ever get that heroic guard HVIP coming, which may happen. So I'm not going to waste all of my heroic trade essence, but if it's enough to get me an E5 high flying with minimal trading and also without having to even finish off the collection, I will take it. The other thing, of course, that we have finishing up very soon is the leaderboard event, and it looks like we should come in first, barely, but we should be coming first on this one, getting some more rewards for the new Leader Bliss Dragon. And outside of that, we're just going to be collecting the last few bits of the Collar Psyche ornaments, getting this dragon hatch, and then we can work on the quests as well. But we only have a tower event coming up and then a maze event, so there's not really too much to worry about. But we do have these heroic quests, which of course will take all of our food if we want to level up the dragon and get the bonus orbs. I think a guaranteed E4 close to E5 is probably worth it. So as you can see, I have saved up my food for yet another heroic. And again, we're going to be very close to E5. And if I get some trading done, then we can probably just get him at E5 straight away. But will I get it in time for the quest? Don't know about that. The heroic jokers are nice, but it's not. The main thing is just getting enough orbs for the dragon. And, you know, I don't necessarily need all of his elements. I've already got them on most of our dragons, but just having another E4, E5 heroic is always going to be useful. So that's what we're doing. That's where I'm up to. I've been gone a few days. I've been very busy, very tired, but I thought I would at least update you on what is going on here. But outside of that, I don't think there's really too much else to be aware of. Of course, when that does happen tomorrow, it is going to be a new week. There's going to be new stuff. We've got our new streaks and everything ongoing, but nothing too noteworthy. Audacious, they were from the previous collection as well, one of these heroic collections. But for now, if you did manage to finish off, you know, the grand collection for high flyers, I hope that you got the nice big tasty 640 drop. If not, GG, go next. The only one I'm disappointed about is that I'm not going to be able to get Palm Tree. Honestly, I really wanted Palm Tree, but I guess we'll get them when they get released in Rescue in like 6 months time. So it's not the end of the world. We'll keep collecting high quantum wormhole stuff for now. Speaking of which, I don't actually know how many orbs I even have for him at the moment. Okay, we got 120 of them. We can E1 him. I could E2 him if I trade, but and the only other thing really is that my luck on the Ascended path has not been great, so I haven't really been wasting my gems. We do need gems for heroic combat and also just to upgrade the dragon, which we will get gems back from the quests, the heroic quests as well, but you've got to have the gems available to spend out as well. So I think it's worth it for the dragon, but maybe it's not for you. Either way, I'm going to have more heroics to use in my arenas, so I'm happy about that. But I guess for now, that was just my short update on what's been happening. But like I mentioned, we will have heroic combat starting tomorrow, and you do have to log in every 6 hours, which I will go through anyway in claiming the dragon. But do make sure that you are prepared and ready to do that. Tower, you don't really need to be prepared for. But just in terms of these heroic quests, you will need a lot of food. And I mean, if we're going to go all the way up to, what is it, 55-ish? Even if you go up to 60. Let's say you go up to 56 even. Like, if we whip out the food calculator, just think you're going to have to level up all these dragons and take at least the heroic up to, say, like 56. 0 to 56, that is like 53 million food. So do you have 53 million food plus the food it takes to level up the other dragons that you need for heroic combat to level 40? If you don't, well, GG, go next. But it's the reason why saving food for these events is so important. So I hope you've got all of that ready to go. But I'd say this race was pretty even. Like you can see, like we're all on the same lap. We're on different nodes, but it's pretty much the same lap. If you do want to do a few more nodes just to get some more leaderboard points, I would understand. But I think I'm done. I think I'm ready to chill out until tomorrow, and then we've got to log in for all the heroic combat quests. But you know, another successful race, even with a busy life, it's possible. I'm telling you. All these people saying, "Oh, I'm too busy." Maybe you are, but some people they just don't want to log in. Let's be honest.